Hey guys, welcome to the channel, and today we are going to be building a voice note taking app in React Native using Expo. So let's get started. So the app that we are building today is going to allow the user to record a voice note, and then we're going to convert that voice note into text using OpenAI audio APIs. We are going to learn how to set up an Expo project, how to record a user audio using Expo, and finally, how to transcribe the audio recording using OpenAI audio APIs. I created this project into different parts. So this is the first part. In this part, we are going to build a barebone app and mostly logic. For example, how to record the user's audio, then how to send it to OpenAI and get back the text. The next part, I will be taking this further and actually designing an UI around the whole app. So let's get started with this part. So let's start by setting up the Expo project. I'm just gonna go to Expo docs and copy the command to create the project. Just gonna paste it here and add and dot. So it creates the project inside this directory only. I'm just gonna hit enter. It's gonna create all the files. I'm just gonna fast forward. It's done. And now we're going to install the Expo audio package. So let's go to the browser and search for Expo audio. Expo audio. And I'm just gonna copy this terminal command and px expo install expo audio and just hit enter. It's gonna set up the plugin. It already did that. Also, we have to configure a bit of plugin of to run this package in iOS. So I'm just gonna copy this configuration from here and I'm gonna go to my app.json. App.json is where you can define data like plugin and other configuration for Expo. So here I'm just gonna remove Expo audio because we need to provide this attribute. So I'm gonna use that syntax, Expo audio, and then microphone permission. And this is only for iOS. If you're running it on iOS, I'm gonna run it in iOS simulator, so I need it. And once it is done, you can just go and type npm run start in your terminal, and it's going to start the Expo server. And if you have already installed the iOS simulator, you can just hit I, and it will open the iOS simulator with the code. So you can see we have the app running here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to remove everything here. So I'm going to go to the app, go to the tabs, index.tsx, which is being shown there. And I'm going to just remove everything from here and just going to say a text, say hello. This is a voice note taking app, not hello. All right, I'm just gonna import text as well. Import text from React Native. And save it, reload it. You can just go to the terminal and just hit R and it will reload the bundle. And if you go to the app, you can see, hello, this is a voice note taking app. That's great. That already works. Now, the other thing that I want to do is actually use Expo Audio, and we can go through it together in the documentation as well. So here you can find all the example you can take and um, play with yourself, but I'm gonna make it simple. So the way I want to do this is, there will be a button you click on, add node button, and there will be a modal which will pop up, and then in that modal the audio recorder is already started and it will start recording your audio. So let's do that. So I'm just gonna go here and create a um, touchable opacity from React Native, and with text. it will say add note, and then here on press, I'm gonna just redirect to that route. So router from the Expo router dot push to slash modal. Now we are going to create that modal. So the way to do that is just go here in the app, create a modal.tsx, and then in the layout you can just create another stack dot screen name equal to modal, and then the options, and in the option we are going to define, in the options we are going to define that this is a presentation of a modal. So presentation of a modal. All right, I'm just gonna end it. So now we have the screen. Now let's use our audio package in here, and yeah, let's get started. So I'm just gonna create export default function modal, right? And then I'm gonna create a state variable for just knowing if something is recording or not recording the audio. So use state, which is going to be a boolean, and then by default it's false. Import the use state from React, and then I'm going to create a very simple UI. So return, and I'm just gonna create like a touchable opacity here. So touchable opacity text, and then in this is gonna say stop recording, right? And it will only show up if his recording is true, right? Yeah, so this is going to be wrong braces. All right, need to import text. So just gonna import text here. And this should basically show up. Also, I'm just gonna wrap all of this inside a view. So a view, going to import this from React Native as well. And I'm just gonna style it a bit. So const styles equal to style sheet dot create container flex1, so it takes up like the whole height. Then align items center, so everything is on the center. Same for justify, um, and some padding just to keep it nice. And then I'm gonna pass that to our view. Style equal to styles dot container, and I'm just gonna reload this, and let's go to tabs. It shows this error, but I don't think, okay, so it says no route name model exist. It is there. I have defined it inside the layout. So, oh, okay, the spelling's wrong. I'm very bad at it, but yeah, so it's modal. All right, I'm just gonna yeah, okay. It seems like it's fixed now. The model is here. Let's see if our modals opens up or not. So I'm gonna go to my IO simulator, click on add node, and you can see the model, right? That's cool. And say stop recording. But that is wrong. It should not show this. Yeah, the issue is I have to do this. Yeah, so I had the wrong braces. So now if I below this and click on add note. You can see the model and there is no button because the recording is not true. But if I make it true here, then it will be right. And what I want is that recording should be started by default when the model open. But before that, we also have to ask for permission from the user. So what I'm gonna do is first and foremost, let's create the audio recorder instance. How you're gonna do that is like this. So I'm gonna do const recorder, or type const recorder equal to use audio recorder, right? And I have to import this from Expo audio. So let's go here, import use from Expo audio, use audio recorder, right? And then you can pass if the recording going to be high quality or low quality. So we also need to pass that in here. So recording preset start high quality, right? So recording presets high quality. All right. Now let's use this recorder and start recording. But before that, we need to ask for permission as well, right? Remember? So now we're going to ask for permission inside the use effect, when the model is open, basically. So I'm gonna go here, use effect, right? We only want to ask it on mount, and I'm gonna create a IIFE function which execute by itself. If you don't know it, you can go and Google it. So this is IIFE function. The reason I'm doing it is because this is an async function. You can also do like just define a async function and call it. If you want to do that, that's up to you. But I'm just using this. So async function, and I'm gonna say const status is equal to await audio module. So audio module will also be coming from Expo. Expo just make it very easy, to do this native things. Request recording permission async and semicolon, and then we're gonna check if we got the status or not. So if status dot granted, then if it's not granted, then alert the user that we didn't get the permission. We also have to import alert from React Native. Alert permission denied or something like that. So permission required for taking the note. But if it is provided, I'm just going to say else record. And we haven't created the record function. I'm just going to do it. Now I'm going to go here and say const record equal to an async function, right? And here I'm going to start the recording. So before starting the recording, we have to prepare the Expo audio recorder. So for that, we have to call the method recorder dot prepare to record async. And once it returns, then we're going to actually start the recording, which is recorder dot record. And I'm going to set is recording to true. Okay. And then we'll start recording. But now once it starts recording, we also need a function to stop recording. So I'm gonna create a function const stop recording, and then obviously again async await recorder, and we are gonna call the stop method. It's pretty simple, just some basic stuff. The only I think extra thing is this prepare to record async. Other than that, it's just record and stop. So I'm just gonna say stop set, and then I'm gonna update the state. Set is recording to false, and then the recording will be available at recorder um, recorder dot URI. I'm just gonna console that for now. Let's see if that works. So console that dot log recorder dot URI. All right, I'm gonna reload the iOS app and let's see if that works. So I'm gonna go to the iOS app, click on add note, and it's gonna ask for the permission. But you can see what's happening is once the model is open, it just the permission modal or the permission alert is getting removed, right? So in order to fix that, I'm going to, instead of calling this inside a IFE function, call it inside a set timeout. So it will give the modal a chance to open up and then ask for the permission. I'm just gonna paste it here. I'm going to do a timeout of like 500 milliseconds. Let's see if that works. If not, then I'm gonna increase the timeout basically. So I just reload it, go to the app, click on add note, and then it worked. I'm going to click allow, and then you can see I can see the stop recording function. That means it's recording right now. And if I click on stop recording, it should stop recording, but that's not happening because touchable opacity actually doesn't do anything. So we have to click on press. We have to we have to say like on press, actually call the stop recording function that we just created and reload. I'm gonna do a R reloaded, click on add note, and this is recording right now. Click on stop recording and you can see in the log the file of our voice recording or the audio recording. So what I want to do is now I want to create a player so we can play this audio and like really test if this really worked. So the Expo audio also allow you to create an audio player, so we're gonna just do that. All right, so const player is equal to use audio player, and it needs a source. So it's gonna be a string because we have this local URI, right? So what I'm gonna do is just go here, set an URI, or I'm gonna say audio URI, and then set audio URI and equal to use state, and this can be a string or null. So string null by default is gonna be null, right? And then I'm gonna pass this audio URI to this player and set audio URI when instead of like let's just keep the console log, but also do this. So recorder dot URI, and then what we're going to do is we're gonna basically play this like this audio source. For that, I'm gonna create another button here, and I'm gonna say if there is an URI and then render another touchable opacity, which is gonna say play recording, play recording. It's not or audio URI, and when click, we have a player instance, so player dot play. Let's see if this works. Okay, so I'm just gonna hit the R and it's reloaded. Now let's open up, click on add note. So it's recording. I don't know if it's really working or not. Let's see. I'm gonna click on stop recording and let's see if it's plays. I don't know if you will be able to hear it, but let's see. Click on play recording. So it's recording. I don't know if it's really working or not. Let's see. Okay, so it works. That's great. Now let's take this recording, send it to OpenAI, and get back our text. Now, in order to do that, you are going to need an OpenAI key. If you don't have one, you can get one from OpenAI console. I already have one, so I'm just going to use that. Okay, so let's create a function here. I'm just gonna call it transcribe audio, or you can see like name whatever you want. I'm just gonna say transcribe audio equal to async, because we're going to actually make an API head, so we need to sync. I'm going to say if not audio URI, then alert the user that we need, an audio source. So no recording available, and just return from here. And also if I think this is fine, right? I was actually going to add a check for OpenAI key, but that really doesn't matter. So now we're going to make the API head. So the API head that we're going to make is going to be a form data, because we're going to be sending the URI, right? So let's just do that. We are going to create form data equal to new form data. I'm just going to keep every case here. And form data dot append form data dot append means dot append file and URI of the file, which is going to be our audio URI, and then name of the recording. You can say whatever you want, but recording user or whatever you can say, dot m4a, because our recordings are being saved in m4a format. And then the type, we have to define the type. So just going to do type audio slash m4a. Now it's showing an error. I think it's a data error, so I'm just going to do, I don't want to worry about that, so I'm just going to type as any. Right now we have to add couple of other things, like what model we want to use and what type of response format we want to use. Form data dot append form data dot append and model. Then what should be the model? So you can choose, there are like a couple of models, so I'm just going to use GPT-4o transcribe model. So transcribe GPT-4o transcribe, and I'm gonna define the format I want to receive my data in. So form data dot append response response format is going to be in text, so it's much more easier for us to process. Now we're just gonna make an fetch request. Const response equal to await fetch. I have the API endpoint here. Let's copy this, paste it here, and then the method is going to be post. So method post. Now we have to send headers as well, because for the authorization and also like the like the content type, which is going to be multi-part. So authorization bearer dollar open AI key I have in my constant, just import it from there. Content type, which is the most important one right now. So multi-part slash form data. Great. Now just going to send the body and we are good to go. So now we have, missing a comma there. So now we have our file, audio file. We defined what model we want to use in the OpenAI API. Response format is going to be text. So, and we also made the fetch request. Now, just at the end, we have to take whatever response we get and save that in the state, so we can show that in the UI. Let's do that. Const result is equal to await response dot text. The reason I'm doing text because our response format is text, it's not JSON. So we're just gonna receive the text and then we're gonna set that in the state. So in the state, I'm gonna define, text, let's say text set text equal to use state string. By default is going to be empty, and we are going to set that text, which is the result, right? Also, I'm not going to worry about errors or anything, so I'm just gonna say catch whatever and console.log error, any error you get. Right now, let's show this text in the UI. So I'm just going to say text and only render if there is actually any text. So text and we just render text. Right, what's the issue? Yeah, why I'm doing this? I'm not in, working in Angular. So yeah, just going to reload and let's see if all of this works. So I'm going to go in the simulator, click on add note. So I'm thinking of getting some groceries and making some YouTube videos. I don't know if you are able to get all of this, but let's see. Click on stop recording. But the problem is we don't have any button. We actually didn't call. I just realized like we didn't really call this transcribed audio. So I think what I'm gonna do is as soon as we stop recording, I'm just gonna call transcribe audio. Also let's like set up like a loading, which we can show when this is loading, right? So let's do that. Okay. In the state, I'm gonna define loading is loading equal to use state. It's a boolean, which by default is false. And I'm gonna call transcribe audio with here. I'm also like just gonna pass recorder.ui. I think that make much more sense because when if we are calling transcribe audio inside the stop recording, the state is not going to get updated before we call transcribe audio, right? Because set states are not async, not in sync, they are async. So just to be, you know, on the safer side, I'm just gonna provide, and also I'm gonna say if not URI, then just return. And instead of sending audio URI, I'm just gonna send URI. So now instead of like taking from state, we are taking it from the function itself. That's great. So it will start transcribing, but inside transcribing, I want to set the loading to true. I'm just gonna say set loading to true. Set weird names, man. Set loading to true, and finally set loading to false. And I'm gonna show an activity indicator. So I'm gonna say if loading and then an activity indicator. And also like just make it size large. Yes. Now let's test if all of this works. So now we record an audio, we stop the recording, then that recording goes to the OpenAI, it returns a text, and then we show it. Also, like, we show a loading. So let's see if all of this works. I'm gonna go to, so before that, I'm just gonna hit R. There's no error now. Click on add note. So, you know, taking up some groceries, then creating some YouTube videos. Let's see if you are able to take this. You say no recording available. That's Interesting. When we say no recording available, well, there is no audio array, which makes sense because again, so this comes to what I was saying, because set state is a saying as, so we set the audio, but we call transcribe audio and it didn't work because audio URI state is not updated. So this is going to be here, not here, and we are good to go. Just going to do R and start it again, add note. So I'm taking some grocery, maybe making some YouTube videos. Let's see if you're able to transcribe that. It's loading now. Let's see if that works. So it says, okay, so there is an error. The model GPT-4o transcribe does not exist because it's GOT, Game of Thrones, not GPT. So it should be GPT-4o transcribe. It's great. Now go, just click on reload. Yeah, add note. Okay, so this is recording. I am currently in a live session. Let's see if you're able to transcribe that, and also you rock. Okay, so this is recording. Okay, so this is recording. I'm currently in a live session. Let's see if you're able to transcribe that and also you rock. So you can see it's able to translate that data and just looks cool. And on that note, I'm actually going to end this video today. So in this video, we were able to record users' audio, first take their permission, record their audio, then send that to OpenAI, and also was able to convert it from text to speech using GPT-4o. So that's cool. In the next video, I'm going to actually add this as a note and also do some other cool stuff with AI. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. I hope you really like the video and stay tuned for the next one. See ya. Bye.